Well, thanks for staying with us on the program. We must sincerely apologize. The weather in the FCT is pouring down cats and dogs, and this is affected with guest schedules. But our next guest had to defy the weather to make it on the program this morning, and we much appreciate him. Good morning to you and welcome to the program.
Good morning, viewers, and it's a nice thing to be here. Against the weather, we say in Nigeria know the carry last, no matter. Yeah, that's the way it is.
I'm talking about Nigeria. I see you in celebration mood.
No, the girls really gave us something to be happy about. Coming from 2 goals down to, Nigeria is the king of comeback in football. History had it from the Russia Atlanta Olympic to date. So the girls have shown that the spirit of Nigeria is in them, and they really made us proud during the weekend. It was a marvelous one from the girls, and congratulations to the Super Falcons. Congratulations to Nigerians. It's a nice day to remember in history. We really did it.
Congratulations are in order ahead of a presidential welcome by Mr. President. I asked my previous guest, big debate. Yeah. You know, when the men's team came second in the AFCON, there was some controversy around should they have gotten national honors, should they have been given land deeds. And now the females have bagged first place. They are the continental queens. Many will be looking at what Mr. President does in that regard. Do you have any submissions?
It's not only being the continental queen, doing it a 10-time record time like the SEMA. It's, as they call it, Mission X. I think I dug it for them. This is a sign that we give to the world now when the women football is
coincidentally also the Wakanda sign. But the big question now is conferment of national honors. What will be different in this case? Because many will be looking at what Mr. President does.
The lady deserves more than a national honor. They have written Nigerian name in gold. Out of maybe 18 or 19 competition to win 10. At least only 3 other African countries has come close to this winning this tournament. South Africa, maybe Zimbabwe or so. So the girls have shown that the spirit of Nigeria is a dogged one. The spirit of Nigeria is indefatigable, that we are the giant of Africa, and the Falcon has come to terms with that. The female football team in the world today, this record they are holding is unprecedented as far as the world of football is concerned. Winning a single competition record 10 times is hardly seen anywhere in the world. It's only that we don't celebrate ourselves in this part of the world. Do
they deserve a public holiday and some Super Falcon day?
They have written Nigerian name in gold, and they deserve to be celebrated. Whatever it is that is given to them shouldn't be too much, because they gave us joy. And let me tell you one thing about life. When all hope seems lost, when everybody think you are down, to go down, and everybody is in despair, the girls came to say, this is Nigeria. You can't defeat us. We are undefeatable. So they are the undefeatable champion of Africa. So we must give it to them. They deserve all they get from the president as they get the presidential handshake in the days ahead.
Well, more commendations pouring in for the Super Falcons, what is now dubbed the Miracle of Rabat. And big plaudits must go to Coach Justin Madugu, who said he had to jettison Plan A when it wasn't working to adopt Plan B. Big eyes are watching what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would use as his yardstick in commending such a performance, borrowing from what was obtainable when the Super Eagles bagged silver in Côte d'Ivoire. Now, this word comeback seems to be one that is quite used in football, but bringing it back to context in Nigeria, do we ever have comebacks? Another synonymous word for comeback is turnaround. Now, that word is familiar to many when we talk about Nigeria's refineries, turnaround maintenance. The millions, should I say trillions, spent when you look at the currency in Naira, it's trillions. But billions of dollars have also gone down. Now, the national refineries and the Ajaokuta Steel have made headlines earlier this morning, and in the last decade, a whopping 6.5 trillion Naira was pumped into the refineries and Ajaokuta Steel. But as it stands, the comeback or turnaround of those industries are yet to be seen. In your opinion, many have called for audits, many have called for probes. Is there a hope for a comeback for our national refineries and Ajaokuta Steel?
The issue of Nigerian refinery and the organization that is in charge of the oil sector has been opaque. What I mean has been a dark part of history, and it seems the more you look, the less you see when the oil industry is all about. So the NNPC and the Ministry of Petroleum over the year has been moribund as far as I'm concerned, because If there's insecurity, we blame the security agent. If there is, like yesterday, the Super Eagle and the Super Falcon came to the rescue and make Nigerian proud. If they failed, we will blame the NFA, we will blame the player. So the people that are working in the oil sector over the year, from the engineers to the administrator and all other persons that are supposed to man, have not delivered in real time. Because since Obasanjo, Obasanjo categorically said it that it will be very difficult to bring the Nigerian refinery to life. So by and large, the oil sector has been held back by those people, the players in that sector. And there is a new order in the global economy, which is privatization. I think the best way to go is for government to hands off the refinery and sell it to people who are ready to do the work. Because the way it is now, all over the NNPC and all other agencies that are saddled with the responsibility of bringing this refinery to life have not come to the party.
Now you mentioned the NNPC. Yeah. I'm hoping that would have back-end support, would look at some of the infographics, particularly the challenges with specific contracts that were awarded.
Yeah.
Now, in 2020, $50 million was awarded for repairs in Port Harcourt Refinery.
Yeah.
2020, that was the pandemic year, and many talk about how much of an illicit financial flow was perpetrated in 2020. If you have to probe, particularly from the NNPC, just last week the Senate was talking about 3 invitations given to NNPC to appear for audits, and yet those invitations were shunned.
Yeah.
Is there a political will to ensure that we have that probe done so that those records are available for Nigerians to see?
Let me come in now. Now, as we are talking about refinery now, we have one of the single largest train refinery in the world, which is the Dangote Refinery. And last week also, he brought in more than 1,000 tankers to make sure that the ferry is crude. Now, at the stage we are now, I've said one thing earlier, in the oil sector, is a case of the more you look, the less you see. The operation of the NNPC and the allied agencies is not transparent. And no matter how much, you see there is something flogging a dead horse. The NNPC has failed us woefully over the years. And as it is now, due to the new petroleum industry bill, NNPC is going...
Act rather, PIA.
PIA. They are going private. They are no longer state-run. The problem is that how did they get there? How do we get to the PIA and the key players? So what is happening is that no matter what you do, if the player in a sector are not ready to play the ball the right way, we are not ready to put the round peg in the round hole, you will be rolling around the same issue. So what is happening is that if you budget some amount of money among us as it is to maintain a refinery, a money that you can use to set up 5 or 6 modular refinery. Now there are licenses given during the last dispensation of President Muhammadu Buhari late. If those refineries had come on board, they will have complement the production of oil. So what it is now in that sector is that the more you look, the less you see. The private people have come in, a lot of play forth, and the major thing is that the government should just hands off the business of production of oil, give it to private hand and collect royalty from them, as they are doing with Dangote presently. Sell your crude and collect royalty and collect money, so that the issue of when you bring money out of common coffer to hand it to a business and the business is still moribund. Nobody should be heard of it. The government is everybody, and when you want to carry everybody down, at the end of the day, nobody will be held
now let's look at this infographics again, because as much as the government is culpable, when you look at the operational cost, this is staff salary included, you'd find out that between 2021 and 2024, annually 68 billion naira was spent. Now, looking at the staff numbers, Kaduna has a staff strength of 660 people. Port Harcourt 506. Warri 437 people. Does it worry you that this person is still drawing salaries despite optimal performance not being delivered?
If you go to some government parastatals, there are so many of them that are even worse than NNPC in terms of staff deliverables. You will find out that some people don't go to work, and every month, because of the labor law that we have in this country, they must earn wages. I think I'm trying to communicate in sense that regardless of whether you are delivering the productivity in the oil sector, when it's run by the government, there is this lackluster attitude of the workers, because either they deliver or they do not deliver. Since they are working for the government, and if you see the way they hold government responsible, or government to their jugular vein, if their salary is not paid on time, you will come to know that they are not living up to expectation in that sector. So by and large, the real solution to the oil sector is just to go to private. By the time it goes private, you know that for every production you make, government will collect its revenue and taxes. Then I think that's the only way to go. But if you have 30 years back and a refinery is not functioning and salary, in fact, the new employment have been made into this refinery year in, year out. So there is no way you can keep such people perpetually at work. So the best thing is to privatize it, and I think the way it is now, the PIA is taking care of that, and with time, and the private people will come and ease out the government hold on the company. When that is done, we will see more efficiency in the oil sector. And the refinery, I think a private owner will want it to work, and like that, likewise the Ajaokuta story. The moment it's giving back to private hand and they invest their money in it, they will not want. There will be no truancy.
But selling off this refineries, wouldn't the nation be running at a loss? Considering this amount spent in the last decade, you must be giving them at a giveaway price, because we hear that some of the equipments there are obsolete.
If we look at how Dangote Refinery came to life, if everything is transparent, you will know that there is a humongous amount of money that the government, and a humongous amount of sacrifice the government has to make the refinery come to life. Is it tax holiday? Is it loan? The Dangote Refinery is running at the cost of government to some extent. But as it is today, it is being run by private hand, and they will not want any truancy, maybe from staff, or any inefficiency from the technical team, or any vandalization from the administrative end, or any bureaucratic bottlenecks to hamper or hinder the smooth running of the refinery. So private hand will do better. So what I'm saying is that the private hand, even if they held it back to the private hand, it's still Nigerians that will be benefit of it. What we need is just let's keep our refinery running. Whoever runs it does not matter. But government has shown the lack of willingness to wield the big stick that will put everybody in line. And the NNPC staffs they have become untouchable over the years. Even you recruit engineers that are not functional in any. So if they let it into the private hand, I think this discipline will be brought in, and a lot of, if not, look at the amount of money being expanded on this, and it will go down the lane. So it's not a good thing for us to keep it running in the government. And the moment the government hands off running,
so does this leave the notion, rather, borrowing from what you're saying, that government has no business in government, or if they do have business,
they have no business in doing business.
Hold on, then if they do have any business in doing so, this corruption, or should I say misappropriation, might be most likely tenable.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we have seen. You know, in practical terms, this is what has greeted us all over the years. Turnaround maintenance. So now, if you can't continue to do a particular thing in a particular way and still expect different results. So it's still the same set of people, it's still the same set of organization. So if it is privatized and the government hands off it, the private people who are capable of running it, Dangote has shown us an example of how private hands will be able to bring things to bear. So let us go private completely. Government should hands off NNPC and be allowed to be run by the private individuals. Let people who have the know-how come in, and you will see the industry. And as it is now, that's where NNPC is moving into, because of the PIA bill. It will soon be listed on the stock exchange any moment from now. When it is listed, private hands will come and invest, and I can't invest the money and I keep you at work and you will not give me the result. So you can see when you are working for private hand, there are targets given to you. So government doesn't seem to give them targets. If either you produce or you do not produce, your salary will come in, your emolument will come in. You have.
So you believe like a KPI should be introduced?
Yes,
let's
index analysis should be. If you are not giving, you are not producing, then you are not going to be paid.
Now let's leave the refineries. Let's come to Ajaokuta Steel Company, because it's been the subject of much controversies. Even if you take it back to what's currently happening in the Senate and the people of Kogi Central and some of the yearnings coming in from there.
Yeah.
In your honest opinion of Ajaokuta Steel and the controversies that have shrouded this industry over the years, despite the potentials to turn it into one of the biggest revenue generators in the country, be honest with your analysis.
Yes.
Where did we get it wrong with Ajaokuta, and is there still an injustice in that case?
The problem is that we should stop the blame game. If we continue to apportion blame to this or that, but what is Ajaokuta, for instance? Is the third largest steel complex in the world, and as such is the life wire of many industry in Africa. It can power the industrial revolution of Africa, especially West Africa. Now, how do we get to where we get to? There are political problems that spring. The Shagari regime had finished it and put it to work, and we thought Nigerian industrial revolution will begin. Then there was a change of government, and the government policy changed, and I think the in-depth analysis of such occurrences that there is interference from the international community, because if Russia helped us to build, the Soviet Union helped us to build that place, the Americans see it as an affront. The West sees it as an affront. If Nigeria could gain industrial independence, Nigeria could get dominance in Africa. So that is the international aspect. Then we as our own people, if there is no crack on the wall, the lizard cannot penetrate the house. The state government and the federal government have shown lack of willingness to come together and make Ajaokuta work. So when the Asiwaju-led administration came in, he has removed some of the things on exclusive list. Now, the state government, the Kogi state government, with the investor can come together with federal government and invest heavily and bring the technical people into it. Then it is not a rocket science to put Ajaokuta. But
you started by saying we shouldn't blame people. We should look for ways to fix it.
Yes, I said, and I'm just saying that this is the only way to go, because you can't just walk in. If I'm an engineer or I know how to fix Ajaokuta, I can't just walk in there and start fixing it.
But there was a case of selling of some of these complexes, which was probed back then. It was under the notion that it was sold to some person's friends. I don't want to name names.
No, you see, that's why I say apportioning blame. It's just like we'll be dragging us, because those people even went to court, and that is no punishment meant to them. Says we are operating a kind of family law. It's a family law that we operate in this country, because some people it seems above the law. Somebody got $16 billion to fix power, and the power was not fixed, and he just came to the world and said it was a mistake. That person is supposed to be rotting in jail. But those type of people are going about even contesting elections. So that's why I say we are running a kind of family law. Some people are above the law. But this particular Ajaokuta, how can we fix it? Is for the state government. It's no longer industrialization now is off as a exclusive list. Let the state government and then I know the military, like all over the world, big industrial complex like that have military, because they use hardware that require metals. Then because of their discipline, engineers in the military can be moved to site and work with civil engineers and make sure that the place, so that we can produce metals that are of our daily needs, 70% of our daily needs. Then if we want to go industrialization to automobiles and all of that thing, that complex can at least give us 70% of derivables in the automobile industry. So if the government is willing, then the technical know-how is at our fingerprint.
Now see all these potentials you're brilliantly enumerated brings us to our second point, and this is on fresh loan request by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the National Assembly. Now the ADC is the lead opposition party now that is beginning to seem as though they're preferring alternatives. They're now asking that under the APC in the last 10 years, if we have huge potential in these complexes and industries that have not been invested in, then there needs to be an audit of over 200 trillion naira external borrowings if we did not prioritize investing in getting some of these revenue generating complexes back on track.
One thing I want us to correct: how is ADC a leading opposition party in Nigeria?
They are the coalition.
They don't have a governor. They don't have a single councillor. So leading opposition in what?
In terms of voice,
it's a voice.
The rest seems to have gone quiet.
It's a voiceless.
Labour Party is not speaking. PDP is not speaking any longer.
It's a voiceless voice in terms of their coverage and in terms of you cannot like now if I'm in your house and I cause a damage. Then I quickly run out of the house and move to another house. And
I see what you did there.
So now, for you to now say, when some of them are governors, when some of them are ministers, they are key to make sure that this thing works.
So they are part of the
They are
challenge.
part of the problem. They are just trying to be clever by half. So, and audit or no audit, and loan or no loan, we must first look at the government has spent how many years as to what they have spent when they were in power. What are the derivables? Like now, the rain that just start falling, you can't tell its volume until when it ends. That this is the volume of rain that just start falling. You cannot ascertain it. This is a government that's still in power, and a lot of things are evolving. Yes, there are mistakes here and there, but what I want to let us know, the APC government over the last 10 years, has they be able to shift the wheel of Nigeria. I've told you on this program at least more than 50%. On the ratio of 10, we will score them 5. And Nigeria itself is a work in progress. Like what the Super Falcons did yesterday, there is a lot of input from the government. Do you know that those girls have gotten the winning bonuses before the match? And this is such as a morale booster for the girl. So this government has an eye on the ball as far as the industrialization of Nigeria. So the ADC government will cry for because they must look for a point to be relevant. But they are not the leading opposition. We have the PDP. They have about 11 state governors. They have senators. And we have the Labour Party. We have one. So we have the NMPP. Those are the party that if they talk, I will give seriousness to what they are saying. But as far as ADC is concerned, they will wait for the general election to prove.
But on the seriousness, I know you might question their credibility and genuine
intention. They lack
credibility
to frame the direction of this country, because when they are in position,
but whilst their credibility is in doubt, this issue of an audit, how important is it? Take away from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration
as individual,
because part of the questions we're asking in terms of some of the, would I call them loopholes, happened between 2013 to 2023.
Okay, let me come in. You see, everyday life would need to be audited. Even our personal spending, you should not spend recklessly. Now, let me give you an instance of the second Niger bridge. It was built by the Nigerian government. It was not on paper. When the PDP were in charge, it was on a billboard. But if you go to the crossing within Asaba and Onitsha today, you will see one of the best bridge you can, with the state-of-the-art equipment and a borderline monitoring with security network and well-housed preventive mechanism to make sure that the durability and the usability of this particular bridge. If you want to audit anybody, you must see something tangible on ground. Now, if you want to audit that particular bridge, the bridge is present. That's something you can audit. Last time I came on this program, I told you that from Jeba to Ogbomoso, in Jeba in Kwara State to Ogbomoso, is now, it started with Buhari down to Obasanjo government and Aswaju government. That place has been fixed. It dualized. That, I'm telling you, you can spend 2 weeks. A tanker can spend 2 months on that road before just to ferry fuel down to the north. And when Buhari came in, he made sure that road was fixed. Lagos Ibadan Expressway for the 60 years of PDP was a song that they keep telling us that it will be fixed. Not only that was it fixed under the Buhari or APC government, it was expanded and given a lot of bridges and other. But the only part of it that is left is every construction towards Ibadan. This is about 100 miles of road, 6 lanes on either side. It was fixed in 8 years of Buhari government.
Now, time is almost fast spent. I agree with you. Those projects were executed. Time is almost fast spent.
The biggest single railway project in Africa that was built in the last 10 years was the Ibadan, Lagos to
Lagos Ibadan
railway project. It was fixed under the watch of Buhari government. So if you want to audit someone, you must see the practicability of how the money was spent on ground. So these are reality. It's different from when you have a 16 billion US dollar to fix electricity, and you said you want to take us from maybe 5 megawatt to 10 megawatt, and up to today we're still moribund. In the coming of Asiwaju, he has made sure that from the 3,000, 4,000 we used to do, we are stabilizing at 6,000. Just like Yaradua did.
Now, lastly, before we go, time I'm afraid is up, but we must address this question.
Yeah.
Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso came out publicly to say that the North has been marginalized under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yeah.
Before now, there were speculations that he might defect to join the All Progressive Congress.
Yeah.
This morning, more reports coming in from an NNPP chieftain who has dispelled any possibilities whatsoever of a Kwankwaso-Tinubu alliance.
Yes.
What does this do to the hopes of 2027 and the ambitions of a certain Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso?
In the 2023 election, he did not ally with the APC, and we still win the election. So I don't see a reason why the person of the former governor of Kano State, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso's statement, you see that are factual, things that are factual on ground. If you travel from Zuba down to Kogi State, you will meet iron steel construction on the road by Inquest. It's a company that is doing that job. And that project will go up to Kaduna State. If you go to Zuba now, you see them on site. They are doing a concrete pavement of that road. So if you say, is that place not in the north? If you say that there is no project in the north, the railway line that Buhari started, that traveled down to Maradi, will soon be commissioned. They are 90% completion. Is not in the north? All the projects that Wiki is doing in Abuja, is it not in the north? So when you want to make a statement, and a blank statement, you want to make a political statement, I can name many projects. The Lagos and the Badagry-Sokoto line is about 1,006 kilometers, 1,006 kilometers from Badagry down to Sokoto. The contractor is on site day and night. From the KB section to Sokoto has already commenced. Badagry running through the borderlines of Nigeria so that we can have an economic across the borderline. This is 7 wonders of the world that Asiwaju is about to achieve, and some people do not like it. Let me give you one instance. When they started the NEL fund, the student loan, the part of the country that benefited most on that student loan is the North. All the universities in the North key in immediately because of their political awareness and sagacity. Is there any university in the North that has been denying the sum of the money that's supposed to go to the student in that university and their portion? Is it not in the North? So that a statement you will make, it just shows that you are a local champion. I'm from the North, I'm from Kwara State. So we must start defining what is the North. Who is the North? Because you are...
So you think he was making a reference to Kano, maybe probably Kano in particular?
Kano has benefited immensely. In fact, many key parastatals of government were held to people from Kano, who the deputy speaker of the deputy senate president is from Kano. Many of the agencies of government are held by people of Kano. So
in summary, you believe that his accusations are largely
when I talk in a particular way on this program, you normally question me, but there are some people, they make confounded statement that just a divisive tendencies and that will not lead us anywhere. We in the North, we the Northerners, we have outgrown such politics. Going forward, we must come together as a nation. The Nigerian state is high time that we should beat our chest and say, I'm a Nigeria, rather than where our regional divides come.
Thank you. It's a fine place to leave.
American first, Nigerian first, I would say.
It's a fine place to leave it. I appreciate you. Thank you once again for your sacrifice to make it on the program this morning.
Good morning.
You should get some warm beverage before you leave.